Like, ah, who did that? You know what I mean? Who thought this was a good idea? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ashley, you're watching Your Canadian Blind Girl, and I just recently dyed my hair. And if you want to see how that went for a blind person, and it was my first time dyeing my hair, and I tried a natural hair dye called henna, and yeah, you can head on over to that video. It should pop up right about now, but I will have a link in it in the description below. I wanted to talk about something that might seem a bit odd. It's my blind doomsday countdown. For most, fall is filled with beautiful colors, amazing decor, all kinds of delicious treats and family get-togethers, and while I enjoy most of those things, for me it's like a ticking clock. It's a doomsday countdown. Where I live in Ontario, Canada, the town I live in is not very good at keeping sidewalks clean or clear. They're really bad at maintaining no parking on sidewalks. They just don't care. However, I've noticed that if you live on one of the streets that people who are on town council live, those streets and sidewalks seem pretty nice and clear, you know, year round. Yeah, it's that kind of a small town. But anyways, for me, it's a countdown until I'm shut in for the winter. People are too busy to visit. The weather can keep people from traveling a distance, and quite frankly, it can be really hard and isolating. I'm planning on doing things a bit different this fall and Christmas season to kind of change the way I've been experiencing and looking at things, kind of like a different perspective. I have fallen in love with, and I really enjoy listening to the YouTuber Darling Desi, and she talked about in one of her videos about romanticizing things in your life that you don't really enjoy or that you dread. But before I talk about what I'm planning on doing different, I wanted to mention this first. I wanted to talk about the Doomsday Countdown, because this is a very real reality for some blind and visually impaired individuals. Really? Leave it alone. Leave it alone. You always have to interrupt. You always have to interrupt. But as I was saying, for some blind people, this Doomsday Countdown is it's a really hard reality, and I personally believe that friends and families and even just some acquaintances have a responsibility to those, fine, don't sit with me, to those who are suffering or society has neglected. When something like this has been shown to you, or you have learned something new that raises awareness, or it brings your attention about different issues, I do believe that you now have a personality. You have a personal responsibility to do something to make a positive change. Maybe you belong to a group or a club where you can say, hey, I know this blind person in our community. Maybe there's a few. Actually, there's bound to be a few. What can I say? Some of us are shut in. We just are. But anyways, I really believe people need to make that kind of a difference. It's hard. You're reliant on every other person for aspects of your life that are very demeaning. You know, you'll have people that say, oh, here, let's get together at this time and do this, and then they don't. Or you have people, okay, yeah, I'll take you here, you know, I'll take you to your doctor's appointment, and then they don't. Or you have people who, yeah, they'll take you somewhere, but then they charge you double the gas price of what it actually costs to get there, and you're just kind of like, oh, thanks. And meanwhile, they're over there patting themselves on the back that they did something good, right? You don't believe how amazing it feels for me to have someone come over, even just for tea, for a chat, just something that makes me feel less isolated. It's even more fun and amazing when I'm offered a day out, because like I mentioned before, I don't get out very much, and truthfully, hardly ever anymore. And that really affects you. It really, really affects you. I am going to do a very real blind damsel in distress YouTube video about how people talk to me and treat me being a blind woman, because they do treat blind women different than they treat blind men. But anyways, on to what I'm doing different. I'm going to, and remember I got this idea from Darlene Desi, I'm going to romanticize and fall in love with fall and winter. I might need help with a few ideas, so if you guys could comment your recommendations down below, what your favorite fall or winter activities are, or maybe like hot drinks and hot chocolate, or like little homemade fall treats or Christmas treats, like whatever you guys think of, I would love to hear them all in the comments, and maybe I might even try a few. Yeah, I'm excited to give this a try. Some things I'm going to try is taking a few slow days. So maybe doing like a Netflix and chill kind of day where I make sure I don't have any pressure and have some fall-inspired drinks like apple cider, some teas or hot chocolate, and maybe a few fall snacks. Just taking things slow and just slowing down my life, slowing down my thinking, slowing down and trying to be in the moment, because we can sometimes be working so hard towards the future that we lose our place in the present. That's a whole huge that's a huge like perspective, and that's a huge discussion that I talk about with some of my clients in therapy. I think something that would be nice is I think I want William and I to do some stuff for my YouTube channel, maybe a fall inspired walk, or I was thinking maybe a hot chocolate date in the park when all the colors are changing. About a 5 to 10 minute walk from where we live, there is this park and it has a river running by it, and I think it would be really nice to do like a hot chocolate date and bring you guys along and just, you know, chat. We'll just chat about life, chat about different things and stuff like that. Some things that I've missed since going blind, but I've now been able to accept, I want to fall in love with them again with a different way. So for me, it was reading. I can't read. I don't have money to buy any of the audio readers. Some fall-themed books that we will read together. Well, actually, like I just said, William will be doing all the reading. I would really love to get either a CD player and then I could start getting books on CDs. One of my favorites that I love to revisit is Little House in the Big Woods and Farmer Boy, and they're both written by Laura Ingalls Wilder. Just very fall, pioneering, like, you know, just like this warm feeling. Little Women and Little Men, written by Louise May Alcott, and Anne of the, what is it? Anne of the Island, I think is, all of them are like Anne of, but I believe the one that I like for fall is Anne of the Island and For the Chronicles of Avonlea. Both were written by Lucy Maud Montgomery. Here's a fun fact for you. I used to volunteer at the house that she actually wrote those books. A lot of people think she wrote those books while she was living in Newfoundland, but actually she wrote them in a little place just outside of Uxbridge, and I used to volunteer at the Lucy Maud Montgomery house, and it was really cool because we would serve like old-fashioned teas and all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, and then here's like a little bit more of a gloomier kind of book. Well, actually it's a series. I'd long lost it, but I would love to re-get. It's a series of unfortunate events. I know it's for kids, like probably most of the books I read is like kind of kid themed, but those are the books I love in the fall. And finally, last but not least, Pollyanna. And I can't remember who wrote Pollyanna, but that one is just a very, it's not just a feel-good book, but it's an aspiration to kind of be the light in someone else's life. And I remember there were some different things I had to deal with as a kid, and I remember like even at a young age feeling like I was very alone in the world and feeling just not feeling good about myself, not feeling good about different situations. And I remember reading Pollyanna. I think I read Pollyanna for the first time when I was 7. I read the big books when I was really young. I think I mentioned in a video before, books were my only friends growing up. But anyways, I read Pollyanna at a young age, and from that moment forward, whenever I met somebody, I tried to find 1 or 2 things to compliment them on. So whether like, oh, you look pretty today, and I would mean it too. Like I would find something that I liked about them. So even people that I didn't necessarily like or I didn't think they were good looking, I would find something that I was like, you know, I don't know what kind of a day they're having, and if I can make them feel better, I want to do that. So that's what I did. All those books feel like fall, homey, cozy kind of books, and it's one of the things I'm doing to romanticize fall and look forward to every year to fall. In the upcoming weeks, I'm actually going to start making kind of like the, you know, the old-fashioned, oh, what are they? Like the Christmas event calendars? I'm not even sure if that's what it's called, but like each day you had something you would do or decorate, or there was like some little treat inside or something like that. I thought it was Christmas event calendars, but now that I say it out loud, like I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to work out something like that for our house. Like my husband and I are going, you know, like maybe, because our Thanksgiving in Canada is actually like the second week of October. Now fall obviously starts kind of even right now. It starts to get chilly, the leaves start to change, you hear the birds migrating, you know, like fall starts now and extends even past Thanksgiving. I'm kind of excited, you know, like November 1, maybe we put a wreath on our door. November 2, you know, I'm trying some recipes for some really cool apple cider, and I'm really hoping that I get it down and then I'll share it with you guys. But like November 2, we have like this specialized apple cider. November 3, you know, we put the garland around all the door frames or something. You know what I mean? Just each day there's just something to make it fall, and something my husband and I can do together during the day because I'm home all day by myself. I probably will film some of this stuff from my YouTube channel. Probably the more I think about it, the more I'm going to be able to come up with some pretty fun stuff, and having something to look forward to is a huge step in having a better frame of mind, a better mental health, both in day-to-day mental health, but also when we're facing something like, I call it the Doomsday countdown. You know, maybe yours isn't fall, maybe yours is you have like medical procedures or something you have to do every so many months. I know it can be really hard to romanticize health issues, especially because there's so much stigmas associated around it and so much suffering. I think I'm going to start discussing on my channel some of the health problems that I have and how I deal with them, how I live with them day to day, how they affect me. And I think some of them I'm going to have to romanticize because a lot of times I feel betrayed by my body, especially like when I'm working really hard at trying to be consistent with different medicines and vitamins and, you know, doing all this stuff, and I still have something where my body doesn't work right, and I just feel so betrayed by it. But I really hope that this mindset, I don't know if I've ever heard of this before, romanticizing something that you don't really like. I don't know if I've heard that concept before. I know in therapy I've learned that we talk about breaking it down, like what about it we don't like, and you know, we work through those issues, but I have never heard of this idea of romanticizing it and falling in love with like fall. And I would love to hear in the comments, like I like to get to know you guys. Maybe write in the comments, are you like, do you face fall that way? I know in different parts of the world your fall is totally different than our fall. In Canada, after fall we have winter, and like I said, there's so much snow, slush, and ice. I don't go out, it's not safe for me, the sidewalks are not kept clear, I fall a lot, and I have bad, brittle bones. There we go. Say it like a British person, you can get it out. But yeah, I have brittle bones, so if I fall, like I'm actually really going to get hurt. I have a really high pain tolerance, so I can break my leg and then go walk on it. Yeah, I'm excited to try this, and I would love to hear you guys' idea. Maybe like you like this idea too, and you're gonna start doing stuff. And I would love to hear your ideas of what you're going to do, what you're going to try. Please remember, I really do want to hear like your guys' favorite fall. Maybe you guys have like fall traditions that you do. Maybe you have like fall-inspired drinks or fall-inspired snacks or fall-inspired recipes that are really good. I'm always on the fence with pumpkin spice. Like pumpkin spice muffins are amazing. Pumpkin spice in my coffee, I cannot embrace that. I don't mind pumpkin spice in like a cold coffee drink, but in a hot coffee I'm just like, ah, who did that? You know what I mean? Who thought this was a good idea? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my channel. Make sure you subscribe and you tune in every once in a while, and like I said, make sure you comment. I love hearing you guys' perspective on things. I love hearing your questions. I know sometimes I'm really bad at missing comments. I don't know how I do that, because there's supposed to be a place on my channel dashboard that I can like see comments that I haven't responded to, and I don't know why. Sometimes they don't show up, and obviously I'm doing something wrong. But I do love your comments. I do love hearing different things from you guys, especially like this idea of sharing stuff. I just love it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye!